everyone, my name is Gabriel Hood, and welcome to the first review of February. Today's review is on Obsessed. Obsessed is a 2009 psychological thriller featuring Beyonce, who also serves as executive producer, and co-stars with Idris Elba and Ali Larter. The movie revolves around a corporate executive who had been recently promoted and is happily married. Trouble arises when he meets a new temporary worker who attempts to seduce him. And although he rejects her advances, the situation quickly escalates to harassment, which places both his professional and personal life in jeopardy. So let's begin, shall we? The movie begins as our main protagonist, Derek Charles, moves into a luxury home with his wife Sharon and their 2-year-old son. Within the first 5 minutes or so, it's made clear that Derek and Sharon are happily married and that they're moving into this new home in the aftermath of a recent promotion that Derek has received as a corporate executive for a company called Gage Bendix. And all of this occurs as Christmas season is coming. Most importantly, one agreement within his marriage to Sharon was that he not work with any female assistant. And that gets put to the test when on the same day as they're moving into this new home, he reports to work. And soon enough, a new worker is introduced, and it's a woman named Lisa Sheridan. Initially, she's friendly enough for him to be nice and cordial to her, but the main thing on his mind is staying faithful and keeping everything professional. And she does prove to be more efficient than any of the other temporary workers that he's dealt with on the job. But one fateful night at the annual Christmas party, after enjoying himself with his co-workers, he decides to leave. But before he does so, he uses the urinal at the bathroom, and she sneaks in and attempts to seduce him, which he rejects. And he was certainly not expecting that one attempt at seduction to escalate in harassment. When she flashes him in his car, in the parking garage, and then sends some suggestive photos through email. And although he does get fed up and tells her to leave him alone, he even confides to his best friend and co-worker, Ben, who suggests he go to human resources, which he does, but squanders the opportunity to complain about his situation. Particularly upon the revelation that she quit. And with that said and done, he thinks the situation is under control. Well, it was under control enough for him to celebrate Christmas and New Year's peacefully with his wife and child. But after the new year arrives, when it's time for a work conference, Lisa sneaks in, puts a roof in his drink, and again, despite rejecting her advances once again, it's implied that she took advantage of him, and then tried to convince people that she was his wife. which leaves Derek regretting that he did not get a handle on the situation sooner. And that regret comes into fruition when she overdoses non-fatally on prescription pills. And now that the cat's out of the bag, his wife gets involved, and she is upset that Derek has kept this hidden from her, which led her to suspect that he's cheating, which we know he's not. But because he failed to inform her about the situation before it got out of control, that makes Derek partly at fault, and Sharon temporarily throws him out of the house.
Oh, hell no!
And this also causes a conflict at work, since his best friend and co-worker along and his boss warn him of the potential disaster that could occur if Lisa decides to falsely claim sexual harassment. Meanwhile, Derek and Sharon find ways to co-parent as they're separated, and one day Sharon agrees to go out to dinner with Derek as it is his birthday. And he clarifies that he was faithful and admits that he should have been honest about the situation instead of keeping it hidden until it got out of control. And thankfully they reconcile. But their happy reconciliation comes to a grinding halt, since when they return home, they find that their son is missing, and they suspect that Lisa has kidnapped them. Although Derek finds their son safely in their car. So Detective Reese reaffirms her involvement in the case and suggests they beef up security at their home, especially after they return home once again and find it vandalized. And Sharon decides to take matters to her own hands and personally threatens Lisa through voicemail of the consequences of terrorizing their family if she continues. And sure enough, one fateful day, as Derek and Sharon are preparing arrangements for Sharon's parents' 30th anniversary, Sharon decides to pack a few bags and make sure the security is operating properly, and catches Lisa having already broken in, which inevitably leads to the ultimate cat fight between Sharon and Lisa, and Sharon comes out as victorious. Overall, Obsessed is a very mixed bag. On the good side, what sets it apart from Fatal Attraction is that you actually have a male protagonist that you can root for, who actually refuses to cheat on his wife. Better yet, you have a black male protagonist that defies certain established stereotypes by being loyal to his family. Moreover, whereas Fatal Attraction tries to explore the consequences of infidelity, although in a flawed way, this movie is actually about the sanctity of marriage. Now, on the negative side, since this movie is PG-13, unlike Fatal Attraction, this is one of the times where working under the constraints of the PG-13 rating cheapens the quality of a movie. And since this takes inspiration from Fatal Attraction, it cheapens the drama and suspense. And it comes dangerously close to embracing some very outdated attitudes regarding race and gender and whatever else that you name. So all in all, Obsessed is good as a guilty pleasure, but if you want to enjoy a movie of this kind with genuine suspense and morally ambiguous characters, stick to Fatal Attraction instead. See you later. Peace.